most people think that Trump is the worst president ever.
Okay.
But have you been to third world countries, aka Nigeria is still a third world country?
Even my country as
Have
well.
you been to those countries?
Absolutely.
The presidents don't care about the people.
Okay.
I mean, there's still over 50 something percent in poverty. You know, I thank God that my parents were doing well. I mean, my mom was a nurse in Nigeria. I mean, she was doing very well in Nigeria. My dad worked for a top company in Nigeria. But still, when you're in a country like Nigeria, you know, I went to most people still go to a private school in Nigeria because, I mean, really, that's mostly all there is. You know, you have to pay for money for every semester, whether you're in primary 1, primary 2, primary 3, whatever. You have to pay money. And if you don't pay the money, you're not in school.
Don't go to school.
That is it, you know? And at that point, you just have to succumb yourself to selling water, selling coke. Mind you, back in Nigeria, I mean, again, I thank God for how
They've been the water boys been in Africa.
I'm telling you, they've been
in Africa.
they've now been killing people, and you know, not all that, but they've been in Nigeria. You know,
water boys.
they've been in Nigeria, third world country. They've been there.
That's where the water boys originally started from.
Yeah, they've been doing all of that. And I thank God because, my parents owned pharmacies in Nigeria. My dad had his own pharmacy, and my mom had his own pharmacy. And they were both doing well, and they were both working for good companies that made sure that helped them to make sure that their children were good. You know, I thank God for that, but a lot of people are not doing well in Nigeria. Just, again, more than just Nigeria, but other third world countries. You know, they were not doing well. So that just lets you know, I mean, even though I'm not saying much, but that just lets you know that a lot of people are really not doing it. I mean, I have families in Nigeria that, you know, they are not doing well, and, you know, that my family has to help to make sure that they are good. So it is very important to understand that what is seen on TV is to make sure that, is to mind trick you to know that, oh yes, this is what the country is. I mean, I think we're just hearing recently that, you know, Meek Mill, who else? Chance the Rapper, I believe.
Okay.
They're all in Ghana, you know, enjoying their life. But
I believe it was Meek Mill. I believe it was Chance the Rapper.
Yeah, Chance the Rapper. You know, to make you believe that this third world countries in Africa, that they're doing so well. I mean, again, you can enjoy yourself in Africa, but it is not the case for most people. It's not the case for most of the country. You know, you just have to understand that. I mean, we are doing well in the United States. I mean, I think less than 5% is in poverty, less than 5%, and we are complaining. But just think of what these third world countries are going through. You know, we just have to appreciate what we have been given. You know, and I appreciate what my family has been given coming from a country like Nigeria.
Okay, so going back to Meek Mill and Chance the Rapper, some might argue that, granted that these African countries are not doing so good, they might be going there to try to just leverage the fact that they could have a fan base in Africa. So more so help, but still, you know, reap the benefit of as far as just being globally recognized.
Yeah.
What do you say to that?
I mean, you know, I don't blame them because, you know, there's a thing with business that you can't just be emotional about it. I mean, we think that, you know, yes, they're just trying to go there to help the people. In all honesty, they're just trying to make themselves richer. You know, this is why you go. I mean, if I was in their position, and yes, I'm doing well in the United States, but guess what? I want to make more money. And because I want to make more money, I want to make sure that I expand myself as much as possible. I mean, Africa is how do you say it? Africa is like, you know, digging a well that you know that is going to provide you more water. Yes, you have not found that water, but you know that there's water in there. So you're going to continue to dig that well until you get as much water as possible. Yeah, you are not going to finish that water because nobody ever finished that water. I mean, the water is like 3/4 water, but you're going to continue to dig that well.
Keep digging.
You're going to keep digging because that's what a businessman is supposed to do. I'm not going to, you know, as a businessman, I care about my people, but I want to be richer. And that is why, I mean, I personally feel that is why they go there. You know, it's more than them exploring where they came from. but it's also exploring how they can make more money. Because I mean, I think then Drake and Wizkid, I believe they made a song together.
Drake and
Wizkid, Chris Brown, and
One Dance,
yeah,
hit.
yeah, they did all of that because it's more. They want to expand their fan base to be able to make more money. You know, you have to be able to separate the emotions and the business. You know, experience the emotions definitely, but also experience the business aspect, which will make you richer.
Okay, that's a interesting way of putting it.
Yeah.
Going back to what you said about the presidents in Africa.
Yeah.
You said the president don't care. Sometimes you feel like that's greed.
You know, everybody when they don't have money, they'll say that, yes, when I make more money, I want to do the best for my people. But guess what? At the end of the day, money or success will show you the true person that you are. Okay? Those people, they started from the bottom. And they probably said to themselves that, oh, you know, when I become this, I'm going to help my people out. But at the end of the day, the money showed them who they truly are. And that is what has been showing. That's what has been showing about the African, more African, but more like third world presidents about what they really are. And the people that they really are is that when they make more money, they start to keep the money for themselves. Because honestly, when you think about it, can you really blame them? Because honestly, if I make more money, if I'm the president of the country, of course, I want to benefit of what it means to be a president. And there are going to be times when I do not care about the people. It takes somebody who is very aware of what is going on to be able to realize that, you know, it's not just about me. It's about helping my people out.
Okay.
But that is hard.
We got people like Akon.
Yeah.
You know, granted, Akon is, how old do you think Akon is? 50? 45, 50?
It's about 45, 50.
Yeah, 45, 50. But he's more like in our generation lifetime. You think people like Akon, going back to Senegal,
Yeah.
you know, creating his own city, his own culture, Akon City, that's in the works. Do you feel like we need more pioneers like that?
Yes, of course.
More, because Akon is in our, it's in our prime.
Yeah.
So we don't look at him like some of the old leaders back in Africa.
Yeah. You know, Akon is one in a million because it's somebody who has came to the United States and benefited of what it means to actually have money and, you know, possibly learned about himself along the way. So he's able to go back to Africa and actually try to do something that's possibly, you know, not normal in Africa, you know, AKA, you know, trying to build a city where there's AKA constant electricity. And mind you, I believe there was a time probably about a year or two ago where people were blaming Akon for working with China to pretty much get a loan from China to help with building a city in Africa where there's constant electricity. But again, what most people don't know, because we experience constant electricity in the United States, is that, I'm going to speak on the country that I'm from, Nigeria. There is still no constant electricity. I mean, I was in Nigeria back in 2000. Yeah, really. I was in Nigeria back in 2020. I mean, mind you, we were still experiencing loss in electricity. The same issue that I was dealing with back in 2002. You know, there's still not that. So for Akon, as somebody who has lived in the United States and experienced what a good life is, or what a normal life should at least be, to be able to go back to Africa and try to do what he can do to help the country, at least not even help the country out, but at least to show that there is a way. You know, I definitely congratulate him for that, because there are people in Africa who are richer than him who are not able to do the same.
Why is that? It goes back to the same thing.
It is greed. I mean, humans are greedy.